The plan to build 4 new Metro-North stations in the Bronx is one step closer now to becoming a reality.
That's right. The City Planning Commission gave the project the green light, and now it is up to the City Council to approve. So joining us this morning is Bronx Councilwoman and Majority Leader Amanda Farias, who has been a major proponent of the plan. So good morning to you, Councilwoman. Thanks so much for taking the time to be with us.
Good morning. Thank you folks for having me today.
All right, so another major hurdle passed for the project, but let's talk timeline. So when do you expect the City Council to begin the review process, and how long could that actually take?
Yeah, so the review process is beginning on Tuesday. We have our first zoning and franchises committee hearing where we'll be hearing the proposed plans and all the modifications that have come up into this part for the City Council to review on all 4 stations and any of the housing and development that's created within this application. So that process starts on Tuesday, and from that hearing onward, we have other land use hearings that that have to occur. And outside of that, then the City Council members at large and the voting members of each of those committees have to review, either send back any modifications to Department of City Planning or vote it out of committee and then onto the floor at a stated meeting for the general consensus vote of the entire council.
Does it seem like everyone is on board?
I think right now, for the members that are still that are within the application, they're still working through some of the street infrastructure, the station creation concerns, any of the public safety or development concerns that are happening. But for the most part, I think a lot of members are leaning on the members like myself and 3 others who are going to get most of the developments and all of the stations on whether or not they should be supportive of the project. I think generally all of us have expressed major support on the station creations. We know what this means for our communities. We know we are lacking access to transit and to new development, to street investments. So I think these stations are pretty critical to our communities actually progressing and improving.
So we are seeing momentum really build here. We're talking about 4 new stations, and that will mean faster commutes for some Bronx residents, but also more economic development for the area too. So how much do Bronx residents, do you believe at this point, stand to benefit from this development?
Yeah, I think at least from the community input meetings that I had in my district, we tried to really talk with residents on what they'd like to see, what they think we need. You know, Parkchester is already a booming community. And so we got a lot of thoughts. I think residents are excited about more mobility. You know, we don't really have east to west transit across the Bronx. It's already difficult to do. And we depend on one train line over here in Parkchester. So having another opportunity to move into the city with a commuter fare is going to be massively beneficial. And I think a lot of folks forget that we're on mainland here in the Bronx, and a lot of us travel to Westchester. We go up to co-ops quite frequently, and we use our cars to do that. This is going to be an affordable way to go visit our family members in Westchester, in Connecticut, so on.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the need is there. You have one of the stations located in your district, right, in the Parkchester area. And these stations are actually supposed to open up as soon as 2027. At least that's what the plan is. That's not that far away. You said you've received a lot of support, but do you expect any pushback at all? And have you heard any pushback at all?
Yeah, of course. I think residents are generally always, there's a level of skepticism on if timelines are going to stay in place. I mean, this project has been spoken about for over 5 to 8 years at this point, and we're finally seeing into fruition. So I think there's always skepticism with timeline, with funding. I think a lot of people are deeply invested in seeing the local economy be boosted and seeing greater accessibility, whether that's to commercial businesses or to different forms of transit or to an apartment where maybe they're still doubled up and tripled up, or they would like to see their aging parent close by. And so I think there generally are going to be challenges to ensure that people feel like their needs are being met throughout this development and what we're bringing into the community, and that they have a voice at the table, but also ensuring that folks understand that this is a major investment that the Bronx hasn't seen in a very long time, if at all. And so we need to be able to take advantage of money being invested into the local communities, especially between Hunts Point, Parkchester, Morris Park, and Co-op City, and be able to get the max benefit.
Now, we also know there are some people who don't want these new stations built. Some critics are concerned about the rezoning and more traffic. Is there a plan to kind of alleviate those concerns?
Of course, I think that's what the council members are working profusely with Department of Transportation, with DCP, with NYPD, and with MTA. We have been working with agencies over the last several months. I mean, I had a meeting this week before the holiday
Yeah.
to ensure that we're looking at where we need more traffic lights, where maybe streets need to be redirected. How can we add additional parking? There are real concerns we're hearing from community that are not lost on us. You know, we live here too. I live up the street from where the station will be created. And we understand that we have to, this is our time where we have to work as hard as we can to get the best optimal outcome. And that involves the investments in not just the station and not just the development, but ensuring that we're looking at our streetscapes and our infrastructure and we're making life easier for our neighbors.
Yeah, clearly the need is there. City Council Majority Leader Amanda Farias, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this morning. Appreciate it.